Welcome to Ask the Lynnwood Cop. I'm Teresa Whipple, and good morning, Sergeant Langdon.
Good morning.
We're going to talk today about when parents maybe send their children off to school and they're walking by themselves, or maybe after-school activities or on the weekends. What kind of tips, maybe the top 3 or 4, could you offer for them to talk to their kids about related to stranger danger and staying safe?
Sure. It's that fine line we walk as we allow our children to be more independent as they get older. It's really hard to, and I've experienced that as a parent, allowing them to be independent and to venture out into the world. But we, like you said, we want to equip them with some basic skills and a basic understanding of stranger danger. Now, it's important to note, first of all, that the stranger danger thing can be a bit overblown. And when we look at children who are victimized, it normally happens to be by people that they know. It's people that are placed in positions of trust, coaches, teachers, other family members, other extended family members. So it's important to equip our kids with the skills to understand that they need to, if anything inappropriate ever were to happen, and you got to have some fairly frank conversations with your kids about that. Equip them with the ability to come back to you so that they can have that conversation and let you know of any inappropriate behavior, anything that might be a little out of the ordinary for them, where they feel a little uncomfortable about it. You want to give them the permission to understand and trust that gut instinct that they have that maybe something isn't right. And before we touch on stranger danger, we also want to understand isolation is a big deal. We want to make sure that we don't have adults having special relationships with our kids where they're now isolating and they're showing an untoward interest or what would be an unnatural interest in your child, where that isolation is taking place and this relationship is growing. That's part of the grooming process. So if you see that happening, you want to intervene early on, or at least want to be monitoring those relationships. There are some really good people out there that want to be involved in kids' lives, and they have pure intentions and good intentions, but you want to be a little skeptical, and you always just want to keep your fingers on the pulse of that relationship and what's going on.
And when you say isolation, you mean somebody who wants to spend time alone with your child?
Spend time alone with your child,
yeah.
Absolutely. And
okay,
that's kind of what we're touching on. The stranger danger is a little less gray. It's the person pulling up in a car, asking your children for a ride, trying to lure them over towards them, saying, hey, have you seen my puppy? Or would you like to see my puppy? Would you like some candy? Something like that. Mm-hmm. Any sort of overture towards your children by a stranger, you want your kids to be cautious and a little bit skeptical of someone's intentions. And it's going to be a natural instinct for them, but we want them to trust that instinct and understand that if someone were to make those overtures, they need to back away and they need to get in touch with an adult that they trust right away. And they also need to have someone call 911. Give them the permission to go into a friend's house or to go back home and call 911 and give us that information that your police want to have. Again, we start talking about isolation with known people, same thing with strangers. There are strengths in numbers. So having your child play out alone in an area, not a good idea. Make sure there's a couple friends there so that you always have an extra set of eyes. That's something that's going to discourage somebody from trying to lure your child away or even make that approach. And those are the two main things. If we can have our children be cautious and also always with a buddy or a friend of some sort, those are the things that are going to set them up to be safe. So looking for cautious, we don't want them to be afraid of everybody, but they need to be a little skeptical and feel empowered to report any sort of suspicious activity and bring that back to you. So,
okay,
all right.
Good information. Thanks again. We'll be back again soon with another episode of Ask the Lynnwood Cop.